going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're here for episode 11 of the Rip City Snowhawks, which is going to be our second off-season where we get through the draft. We get to find out really our big name free agents. So we're going to start here, obviously, as we let some of our notable players that did not want to return to the developmental program within the NFL. So we got Dante Harris, Cullen Gillespie, Quentin Meeks, Javaris Davis, Jordan Jenkins is the big one, T. Stabor, Nick Mullins, Lynn Bowden, Case Cookus, and Dorian Johnson. All these players are going to be hitting free agency. I don't know. Really, outside of Jordan Jenkins, probably, you know, maybe Cookus as a backup. But look at that contract. The contract's ridiculous for a 62 overall player. None of these guys really were, you know, top priorities for us retaining. So it's, you know, best of luck as we get to the next stage of the offseason, and we let them all go. Now, here's where we can look at free agents. These are the guys we can't. Oh, Derek James. Really good draft class. I would love any of those players. Pretty much we should look at the running backs because there's always really good running backs remaining. I mean, it's not, what we're doing right now means nothing because we can't sign anyone until literally after the preseason has concluded. So we are going to sim through, probably, you know, do a couple play the moments, maybe check out the offense. But yeah, those are the rules. I mean, if you haven't watched the first episode, all these juicy free agents, that would be perfect for our team. We can't get them until the end of the offseason. So we're just going to pretty much sim here. I don't know if we'll have fifth-year options yet. I don't think we have anyone on our roster. We've already done all of our scouting for our UDFAs because it's my final draft class that we're going to be using realistically. I mean, I am working behind the scenes on, this is the 2021, so I got 2022, 2023, 2024 all in Excel spreadsheets, but they're not ready for a series like this. So we do have our draft board set. A couple really good players on offense and defense. Pretty much, if you got a draftable grade, we're going to get you, because that means you're probably at least in the 60 overalls, and you're going to be a nice player for us. But I'm really looking at, you know, 5th rounders, 6th rounders, anything that's better than a 7th. I'm very optimistic that you're going to come in and, you know, may have a great shot at potentially playing on our team. So let's just keep going. We have no 5th-year options, which, I mean, makes complete sense because we have no rookies. It's a brand new team. So let's start the NFL draft. Pretty much follow our draft board here. So with our first selection, with a 3rd-round grade, the very undersized but fast Greg McCrae from Central Florida, UCF, early 3rd-round grade. We're going to welcome him into the backfield. He's a 68 overall, number 71 in true talent. We got him at pick 6. I mean, you pretty much can ignore all that. He comes in 96 speed, 96 acceleration, 90 agility. You know, 70s for his other rushing stats aren't too bad. I mean, we did deal with fumble issues with Boston Scott, but I think this guy here is going to be an excellent complement to what we have in Boston Scott. Nice. Our next pick, we're probably going to have 2 back-to-back from Texas. We're going to get Keandre Coburn, defensive tackle from Texas, 6'3", 350. Gigantic human being. Pretty good skills. The combine wasn't particularly great. Number 150 in true value. We got him at 38. Solid defensive tackle. You know, more depth with Pasanoa and Kimdichie. Next up, we're going to go back to Texas. This is at least a scheme fit. Joseph Osai from Texas. Again, the skills look fine. Early 5th-round talent. He's probably going to be mid-60s. He is a 66 overall, 133 in true talent. Scheme fit, which is important. Pretty well-rounded. You know, good athlete. Got greens for his speed, acceleration, and strength. His tackling is fine. Could be a developmental prospect for us. Going right down the board, we have Kyle. You know, positions of need. You start looking at our team. We already have our safeties locked up. But at this point in time, you almost have to just go best player available. So we're going to get Kyle Hemby out of Southern Miss. Pretty solid stats. 64 overall. Almost a scheme fit. Because you got to think, like, we might not be able to re-sign some of these players. And here, we don't know what the extent of their contracts are. So bringing in someone like Hemby, just, you know, going BPA is almost paramount for the Snowhawks, even if it's not necessarily a position that we are looking for a starter at. All right, we're looking to add another corner here. Al Blades out of Miami. His dad was in that U documentary from ESPN, the 30 for 30. Al Blades Sr. And he's a 63 overall slot. He's a scheme fit. Speed is a little concerning. Very concerning. 86 speed is not good at all. Even if you are a slot, that's still not. What's his agility? 88's not bad. That kind of compensates for it just a little bit. What's his tackling? 6. Okay, this guy here just he doesn't know what he wants to play. We get Josh Peterson here. I actually think a second tight end is for someone that like this too, that's third in speed, it's interesting like that. It's a nice thing because outside of we have one tight end essentially on the roster that's been able to come in and contribute. So Josh Peterson out of Louisiana Monroe, 63 overall scheme fit vertical, 81 speed, 85 acceleration, 76 catching. Clearly not a blocker. 22 run block is disgusting, but he's a receiver, helps stretch the field. Pretty much don't need our tight ends to run block anyways. As we learned from the first draft, we're probably going to have a pretty good opportunity to sign like 90% of these guys if we want to once the draft has completed. I mean, we got Rakeem Boyd from last CHU, but we're finished at running back. Bradley King actually had a really productive career at Arkansas State. We don't need a defensive end. Our safeties are on point. Deshaun James, we could use another corner for sure. Jordan Scott, I liked him at Oregon, run stuffing D tackle, but we already got Coburn drafted. So I think like looking at the linebackers that are already scheme fits, we have Devin Lloyd, but a fairly solid combine, 6'3", 235. His stats are pretty good. Or Damone Clark from LSU. Third fastest running back, very strong. The skills look okay. I think he's going to be the pick out of LSU. And he's a 61 overall run stuffing middle linebacker to be top depth, debatably, behind David Reese, who's now a superstar. 84 speed, 84 hit power. I like it. It actually doesn't look too bad of a prospect. Definitely someone that we can build around. So draft recap, I mean, we got no one below a 60, which was, pretty evident after we did all of our scouting. We only drafted players that had draftable grades. As far as who's going to make an impact, it's too early to tell because, I mean, last year we had injuries. And, like, we got the safety, Khaleke Hudson. We didn't think he was going to play any because we had Sua Cravens. He ended up playing half the season. So I'm looking at this. I think Greg McCrae might have a chance to, I'm not going to say necessarily eat into the snaps of Boston Scott because Boston Scott was a goddamn legend. But I definitely think 1-2 punch. Maybe we can commit to running the ball more to utilize that 96 speed, get him in on trick plays. But yeah, I mean, generally it's just more so building up depth for our squad and getting guys locked into those rookie contracts so we don't have to worry about potentially losing them in free agency because we only have that one chance of negotiating a new contract, and if they decline, they have to leave the squad. Preseason, I think we'll hop in and get some highlights and, just hop in on offense. And our 2 home games, week 1 on the Colts, week 3 against the Vikings. Our squad, I mean, we'll just give a quick preview because you should know the roster by now. It's not really going to have much of a shakeup until we see the available free agents. But yeah, I mean, no one else is new. We are definitely lacking depth at wide receiver. We only have 3 wide receivers on the roster right now. We have a bunch of tight ends, so we're kind of playing like the Philadelphia Eagles last year where they're all banged up. So we definitely are going to need a couple juicy wide receivers to slip. And last year we got Higgins and Robinson, so I'm very interested to see who potentially might be available there. Defensively, no changes to be had. Passional went up dev trait. Actually, we had 2 dev trait increases. We didn't even pay attention. Passional went up. He's a star dev. Kimdichie went up. He is now a star dev. Jimmy Moreland got a little boost there. He is now a star dev. Same with Perry Nickerson. Star development right there. The only dev trade we actually really even paid attention to was David Reese going from star to superstar because he had a sensational year as a linebacker. Even though it's one of those things, a little bit of like, think of like Blake Martinez kind of thing. A guy that gets a lot of tackles. It's not particularly elite. That's kind of David Reese. Like, I mean, I don't really call David Reese making a lot of plays. He just got a lot of tackles. And there's a difference, especially when you're evaluating linebackers and their true value. Because linebackers just get a bunch of tackles. It's just like, well, yeah, your defense is on the field all the time. Of course, someone has to be there to get the tackles. That was kind of more David Reese than him really being the next best young linebacker. However, we have that opportunity. He's a very young player with that dev trait for him to grow into the next best linebacker because you got to get all that extra boost when it comes to growing and developing XP-wise. So we're going to hop in game 1 against the Colts just because. Dive for it. There we go. Nice little preseason touchdown to maybe the hottest player on the team down the final 3-4 weeks of the season. Caleb Wilson at tight end. Expecting a big year out of him this season. Oh, Kelly Bryant slinging it. There's some questions about our backup quarterback position or even just competition to P.J. Walker. And Kelly Bryant's looking very efficient right now against the Colts. Greg McCrae with that 96 speed, he is going to be an absolute problem this season. There's no way he's going to get tackled consistently behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to be that super glitchy when you're on the sticks. He's not going to feel stiff. He's just going to be able to make a lot of different cuts that guys that just even with 90 speed won't be able to do. Oh, Kelly Bryant, as he got hit, hits Demarcus Robinson, who jukes 2 DBs out of their cleats and find his way to the end zone. 41-yard touchdown. Very impressed so far with Kelly Bryant. My God, Kelly Bryant has literally had 2 amazing drives. He has been dog shit since that point. Can't hit the broadside of a barn. Third 12, trying to make something happen after that interception on the last drive. Ooh. Ooh. How do you overthrow a 96 speed player, Kelly Bryant? Fool's gold. Second quarter fool's gold right now in Kelly Bryant. Oh, that might be good enough. That we don't have a whole lot of time left. We're going to have probably 2 more shots. But if Kelly Bryant can force this game to overtime. Just scramble. Just scramble. Take the yards that are there, kid. Oh, my God. We might have a chance. No, 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 no. Man, that runoff. That runoff, isn't that a rule in the NFL? It just feels so stupid in Madden. But, you know, he finished out the game kind of strong, but we still lost 27-20. I mean, how much can you take away from a preseason game like this? P.J. Walker looked pretty damn good. Looked like the starter. Kelly Bryant looked like a guy that's competing to be a backup. I don't know if we should hand the keys to him to be the backup behind P.J. Walker. Because injuries do happen. We did have quite a few injuries last season. We did not run the ball well, even though McCrae had a touchdown. 1.2 yards per carry. Thought a guy with 96 speed might be a little bit more exciting in his debut. 4 catches, 111 yards for Isaac Nata. Here we thought Josh Peterson, the guy we drafted 5th round, 6th round, would be the backup to Caleb Wilson. But Nata here having a great day. Defensively, 15 tackles, Khaleke Hudson, 10 for Dowell. A couple TFLs on the rookie Coburn. I like seeing that. Settle, Hudson, passing on with a sack. We had a pick from Perry Nickerson. There were some ups and downs for sure. But really that 4th quarter, giving up 15 points, unacceptable. Preseason or not. Upon further ado, we might as well get after it. You know, these preseason games might not be important. They might not matter a lot, but they do because if we win, we can upgrade our players. So I feel like we have a much better chance that if we hop in and play of winning the game than we would just a straight sim. So I'm going to actually play all these preseason games. So let's get into the second one against the Cincinnati Bengals. Look at P.J. Walker just doing his thing. Absolutely want him to be my starter this year. And he's playing like, when you run like that in the preseason, giving it all, win or lose every single game, that's exactly what you want in a leader, exactly what you want in a franchise quarterback. Oh, second to goal, PJ. I don't know about scrambling there, PJ. Let's just go to James Prochet, one of the best connections in the NFL, one of the best underrated connections in the NFL. We're trying to win so we can spend some XP points. Very important, and that's a great opening drive. Oh, Jordan Jenkins. He's gone to Cincinnati on to bigger, better things. Sacks his former quarterback. Oh, and Greg McCrae gets his 2nd touchdown of the preseason as we get back our lead, 14-7. Nata, who's having a breakout preseason, led the team in receiving last week, gets a go-ahead touchdown right now. Our defense is not doing shit, but our offense is at least matching what the Bengals are doing. Well, that's a great way to end the first half. Oh, Kelly Bryant hits. Oh, Hollywood Higgins. Kelly Bryant. Hopefully it's not fool's gold yet again, and he does more than 1 or 2 good drives in this game because I really want a dub. Oh, just slices right through it. No one touched it. No one even stepped on. He'd be coronavirus free. That's how close. He's 6 feet away from everybody else. 2nd touchdown of the game. 3rd of the preseason for the talented young rookie out of Central Florida. All right, did we do enough? It's 36-36, an absolute shootout. That's for everyone that's been missing football. We're going to be able to come out here. We got 23 seconds for me to just spew a bunch of nonsense as we try to have goggles. Dust off the goggles. There's probably dust on these things. He's only kicked extra points. And see if he can win this game and get to a point where we can spend the XP for our players. Look at the Bengals. Get a nice little backdrop. That's probably the coolest backdrop in the NFL. Even though their stadium's usually like a third empty. I like it. Take the flag. Take the most point. Whatever. 5 more yards. That's added challenge. That's what we want. We want them to have, you know, the most amount of yards. The maximum yardage to make the game winners. That looks good. It is up for the best kicker in the National Football League. It is down. And with 22 seconds to go, the Snowhawks look to be winning their first preseason game of the year. Let's get a stop, D, and we do. Zach Taylor can't believe it. Clean cut. Look at that haircut, man. That is a $20 Sport Cuts haircut right there. But this is a shootout game. Kelly Bryant actually came in and played fairly well. Rebounded from that first game where he had like 1 or 2 good drives and then was horrific to finish out the game. But obviously we had a full half with our starters this week as opposed to just the first quarter. But 39-36, the Snowhawks get the job done. Another outstanding showing from PJ Walker. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Kelly Bryant 8 for 8, 125 yards, 1 touchdown. Looking kind of good. We had 87 yards, 2 touchdowns for Greg McCrae. Receiving 5 for 85 and a touchdown for Poche. Nata, back-to-back big games, 4 catches, 84 yards and a touchdown. Hollywood Higgins also had a touchdown defensively. Khalid Hudson led the team in solo tackles. David Dowell, 10 total. Half sack for Passignon and Ty Summers. Yet to get a TFL for Passignon. Man led the league in TFL. They're tied for first in the league last year. And then, of course, we had the game-winning field goal there from Rodrigo Blankenship. It's the preseason. Doesn't really matter, but at least with this victory, we could spend the skill points for our players. So now we are here continuing our preseason. We got to spend some of the skill points. I mean, nothing too crazy. The only big-time player upgrade, I guess, that came out of that was Christian Rector's now a 70 overall. That's about it. Nothing too crazy. All the other guys are like depth players, which is kind of underwhelming. But hey, we got Christian Rector up to a beautiful 70 overall, now a scheme fit with that, Jesus Christ, that ridiculous 96 strength. This guy here, solid, built like a brick shithouse, you know? So as we get ready for our third preseason, we have breaking news. An immediate in-effect report from Commissioner Roger Goodell's office regarding a booming social media campaign started by Johnny Manziel and his agent known as #US2. The former first-round pick and Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel was unsuccessful in landing an opportunity with Rip City last season after the emergence of former XFL MVP PJ Walker. After a barrage of negative tweets throughout the season to the Snowhawks and Walker, Manziel, his agent, and former players who had previously been suspended by the league and unable to land NFL contracts have started the #US2. This campaign was to raise awareness of the NFL denying these players a second chance on the brand new developmental program known as the Snowhawks. In a PR move for the league to try and subdue the social media outcry, Commissioner Goodell has agreed to reinstate 3 players from the commissioner's exempt list and to let the players showcase their skills in the remaining 2 preseason games of the season. Also, merch sales for Rip City have been league worst, and you would figure bringing in high-profile player names to the squad is only going to benefit the league, the team, financially. We can tell you right now that the first player to land a 2-week contract obviously is the face of said social media campaign, Johnny Manziel. The second name confirmed to a 2-week contract is former first-round pick wide receiver Justin Blackman, who is looking to live up to his all-world college production and hype now that he is sober and reportedly in the best shape of his life. We end this report by saying we have yet to been able to confirm the identity of the third player reinstated by the league from Commissioner Goodell, but we're told that this will be announced shortly.